Welcome around Fly Box. Today we're going to tie the UV pink. UV pink is similar to a number of different chronomid patterns you'll find out there in midge patterns. It has similarities to the snow cone. It has similarities to the disco midge. But there's one attribute about this pattern that seems to stand out at a number of times on the stream for me. It's become a staple in my box because of it. So let's go over how we tie it. We start off with a Orvis bead head hook, size 16. I tie this in 16 or 18 to 14. This is a size 16, and a gold tungsten bead. First material we're going to apply is .015 lead wire. I'm only going to put 5 wraps of it on there. This will help seat the bead, add a little bit of weight, and facilitate the taper as well. We're going to seat that behind the bead. Then we're going to take our white 8/0 uni thread. We're going to start it behind that lead, build a dam to keep it in place, and then we're going to wrap over it. And try not to be all thumbs like I am right now. Wrap over the lead and then bring your thread back to about the point of the barb, or about 1/3 into the bend of the hook. Then bring your thread back up to behind the lead again. Next we're going to tie in fine gold wire. Tie that in on the side of the hook, just behind the lead as well, and bring it back to the point of the tail, or the end of the body. And at this point we're going to put both of these materials out of the way, and we're going to tie in our next material, which is Danville. I use Danville red flat wax thread. This is 210 denier, and we're going to coat this underbody. I start out by tying in right behind the lead. Again, that facilitates the taper as each material lends its hand. And we're going to go single layer back to the point of the barb. And we got a little bit of a spread there. And if it spreads out a little bit, give it a few twists. You don't want to twist it too much because you don't want it you don't want it to segment. You want to make sure that you keep it flat. You don't want to bulk this up. We'll tighten that down just a little bit, and then bring your thread again back to the tail end point, and then back forward again. When you bring it back forward, you're going to bring a slight taper. You don't want to build it up too much, but you just want to make sure you transition over that lead fairly well and give yourself a little bit of a taper into the thorax. And make sure you coat the lead final. And at this point, you are going to whip finish. And cut off your red thread. This red underbody is what gives this fly its name, accompanied with the UV dubbing. It has a very distinct appearance. Next we're going to dub in our white UV ice dub. Now, it's not going to be a real heavy rope. It's going to be a fairly light one. And you're not going to build up the body. That's why you applied a little bit of a taper with the red thread, the red flat nylon. Because you want it to be a single layer. And this is a little bit of a unique material. I don't like to wax this dubbing, especially when I'm applying a light dub. It tends to clump a little bit worse than normal. And we're gonna begin our body. Set a nice even taper, and that one little bit of UV dub does not want to cooperate. And you're going to bring your body forward. Keeping that taper. And you'll see within the blog that I applied this to the difference between the red thread and not having the red thread. It's not a dramatic difference, but when wet, it is a fly effective difference. If that makes sense. And then once you got your dubbing done, you're going to bring your wire rib forward. I keep it fairly close in this pattern. You should normally, I would get 3 or 4 with this pattern. I get 4 to 5, and I bring the wire all the way up to the front because I don't want to transition. I want this abdomen to go completely into the thorax. It's a small thorax. And wrap over that wire a little bit. The next material you're going to tie in is a single strand of peacock curl. Tie it in right behind the bead. And you're going to bring that forward with 3 to 4 wraps. I want to bulk it up a little bit behind the bead, but not too much. And then trim that butt end. Build a little bit of a collar. And whip finish. Bit of dubbing flying around there, and there it is, the UV pink. What you'll find is when this body gets wet, it'll shine through in a pale pink through that UV dub. Very effective fly for me. I fish it individually by itself. I don't fish it as a dropper or a tandem, and I seem to get better results if I keep it all by itself. But an excellent pattern. If you're having good luck with a snow cone nymph or a disco midge and they're sporadic, I find that this pink variant works extremely well at times. Hope it has your box that has mine. Good luck. See you on the water.